Okay, I want to say hello again everybody, it's only me, Wushu Richard, with another video for you here outside in nature. It's very hot, okay, we're outside in nature. In this video I want to talk about some wisdom, kind of talks. A plane is flying over our head now, so I hope you can hear me. Yeah. Technology is flying above nature. What are we to do when we're standing on the ground here? But we're always guided by our nature, which is our mind, which think up technology all around us too. Okay, so let's begin. What we're saying. So basically, welcome again. Hi everybody. Thanks for joining me. Very much. In this video, I want to say we're talking about the connection. I guess the connection with nature, with people. Excuse me. In this video, then, the connection is about what we're talking about. Okay, is the connection between people and different areas of your life. Okay, I've already spoken to you about your health and your body. I've already spoken to you about how you need to take care of, each part of your body, right? Because it affects the other and things like that. The mind's the same thing. Different things can happen in your life. Different experiences might affect certain other things, and then aspects of your thinking develop. It's like this complicated network of experiences, what you've gone through in your life, they're all connected in some way. That links to this, which gives you that kind of emotion, which when you go into another similar event reflects back to that, and they all like reflect from each other, and you don't see it, but that's how you've developed as a human being, I believe, in your mind. So that's why some people are more emotional in certain situations, or other people get more angry in other situations. Some people are more nervous, or what do you call it, paranoid, other situations. So I believe this is what it is. But, you hear things like, like lost in translation and things like that, and like language, problems with the language of how we express ourselves as human beings and communicate. But I don't think that's actually the whole thing. Is that it's not the language, it's what's below, what's beneath the language. That's basically what's really there. Okay, now basically I'm just making this video for you here, talking to you again now. So in this video then, I want to basically talk to you about the connection, and what I'm going to do is this connection thing, this kind of thing what I'm talking about, okay, is making things work for you, or let's say how things work off each other, with each other, for each other. It's all like a connected network as such, and like sometimes the pieces like change and like disconnect and connect to another piece. You should be the master controller in that. I'm a fat controller, just joking. Like, the train tracks. When train tracks can like disconnect one part of the track and disconnect and connect to another one. It's just that kind of thing, So anyway, what I'm going to say then is basically we're talking about the body. I'm going to talk about the body first. And if you understand your body, because the body can help you to understand the mind. Don't forget, the mind can help you to understand the body. The body is made up of many things. Okay, you've got the external body, can say, right? When I say the external, I'm not only talking about the skin and flesh on the outside, I'm also talking about the actual skeleton, which is internal, inside, okay? The mind, the soul, the heart, if you want to go into detail, but, I'm saying the basic, which is on the inside, but what I'm saying on the external, for this video, I'm talking about the skin and flesh and the skeleton. Now, the skeleton protects the organs inside the body, right? So the organs are inside the body, okay? So what I want to say is basically, I was thinking the other day, and I can't think exactly of what I wanted to express the other day, yesterday, but I want to actually express still the same kind of an idea about the internal and the external. So this is martial again, like martial philosophies. And don't forget, as I say, the body does affect the mind and influence that, and so does the mind affect and collect and relate to the body. And the whole experience of this life from our senses, and this is what we are, let's face it. Whether you believe in a mind and a soul, or a spirit, a soul and heart that way, or if you just believe in the brain cells, the atoms and the physical, the brain and the body, whatever you want to do, however you want to believe in it, but we are this is what we are here. But I believe we are still connected to the universe around us, okay? And we are aliens in the universe. I'm joking. It's only as mystical as what you see it to be, right? So, as I say, in this video then, I'm going to talk about it like that. I'm going to use the body and the heart, what is closest to us, I'm going to use the body and the organs, to relate to a broader scale, broader scale. Like basically, I mean like the world around you, other human beings. But the only thing we really ever see or think we experience and understand to any level is what we perceive around us. And we always not deceive, but deceptive. It's like it's illusions and such. We only think we know what we do. It's like Bruce Lee once even said, you know, again, Bruce Lee said, all knowledge is ultimately self-knowledge. It's only what we think we know. Well, how much do you know about anything, and what is that anything before you can know about it? Really? You know, people can tell you so much about society and the government and whatever they've studied in schools and colleges, or from someone's word of mouth, or what they believe to be, but yeah, without the bullshit, excuse my language, you've got to go back to the cell. At the heart of this, you only have you now in this moment, this and that. And maybe you do believe in different times, something like you maybe live in parallel universes. I know people that believe in that. You might believe that you are here now, let's say, and also you are coexisting another version of you in the future. So because you are here now, that assures your future, or that it is there really now in another time. This is really deep thinking. You could call it far-fetched, you could call it deep but very scientific, but we don't understand. But it's like, we can't speak about what we don't understand, can we? Maybe to a level we can, but we can't speak to what we don't, about what we can't understand. We can only speak about what we understand. But again, correction, we don't understand anything. We can only speak about what we think we understand. So, you know, Jacques Fresco is my absolute idol. Jacques Fresco of the Venus Project, legend, awesome. But same thing. So nobody understands anyone's language, really. Everybody's speaking from their own mindset, a connection, what we think we understand around us is what I'm trying to say, is based on this network of confusion. That's what I'm trying to say. It's this network of ideas and what's actually made us up as a person in terms of how we think and how we communicate. It's just like Jacques Fresco was saying, and nobody understands anyone's language, really. Nobody understands anyone, and we're all trying to pay off, pay others in some way or another to try to get respect, and we believe in all kinds of fake things, illusion, and that can include all of the emotions which we believe to be so true, all of the principles of moral, of what is right, righteousness, what is just, what is accepted by the majority, you know, or you may in some instances choose to follow your own heart. So within this society and what you've grown up in, so basically it's an absolute mess in many ways. Okay, so we're not relating to, we're just relating to things all the time. We're not actually making real connections. It's just this like connections to mid-air almost. It's like you are so connected to nothing, you could be free. You know, it's like that, you know. You are so connected to nothing, you're like in this entangled web. A lot of people, I'm saying, most people, even me in a lot of ways, of this so-called reality which we think is reality, but it's not at all. We're just like, all about thinking, all about how much of what you think on a daily basis is real, is true, you know, and it is you. And then you may say, well, yeah, of course I speak a certain way, I dress a certain way, I act a certain way, because blah, 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 and the life is what it is, and the world, blah, blah, and people won't accept, and you start to make up all this other stuff. But the truth is, we are natural human beings underneath it all. Fear is one thing. The power of human beings, it's amazing how one human being can control the whole world. With his ideas, he can. Let's say, you know, again, what's his name? Steve Jobs and that, like for computers and that, you know, phones and that. You know what I'm trying to say? I say, for example, yeah, Bill Gates for Windows and that, you know what I mean? Yeah, he can control the whole world from his ideas. But at the same time, you got people like in charge, whoever might be in control, someone up in the government, you know what I mean? But if someone who's got a lot of power, got a lot of money, whatever it's going to be, money is just something we make up, you know what I mean? It's amazing how so many people follow someone. Sometimes we all follow the wrong person, and you know, through belief that a greater power, more powerful than us, in the world we know, which is this fake world for the most part, you know, in the modern society, is got some control over us and can give us a better life, or more better, whatever it is in our life. Health, I don't know, for me, I live a very simple life, healthy life. I live in a small little place where I'm staying, you know. I've got so much pressure on my plate that most people wouldn't be able to handle, even now. But it's like, I take every day in his stride. I take every day like, you know, I'm very lucky for and grateful for, and I value every day of my life and every connection with every human being around me. I'm a teacher. I have like a lot of students I like to teach and communicate with, try to communicate with young people. You know, I try to help people, but it's like, I live a simple life. I don't go out drinking, smoking, drinking, taking drugs. I don't do any of that. You know, as I said, I have a normal life. I live a quiet life. I'm not the most richest person at all. I'm far from it. Little money. If I was like in England, let's say, or if it was like, this is a very average, very low level income, but I'm living abroad. I'm a teacher in China, as I say, and it's enough for me to survive. And as long as you find your way in life, it doesn't matter. As long as you're happy. Some people I know a good bro of mine, Jason Stork. Hi Jason. Living up in the mountains, in a quite a kind of secluded place, right up in the mountain tops though, in a little house. Some people choose that. Some people choose to live out in Alaska, or, you know, I've seen these documentaries and stuff online, or out in the forests. Do what you want, as long as you're happy in your life and healthy. So I'm trying to say, we make the wrong connections to what should be or what we think is, or, you know, and that. If you're happy, if you've got food on your plate, or a plate to have food on, you know what I mean? It's just a start. If you've got something, if you've got food in your body, health in your body, water, food, shelter, that's the basic needs of a human being, right? We're not even born with like fur on or anything, or clothes on, are we? We've got some hairs, very enough, some people. But we hunt animals and things like that, to hunt for food or for the skin, you know, and all that. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so sorry, I saw a hornet flying by there, a big hornet, so you've got to be careful. Not the green hornet. You know what I'm saying though, yeah? Distractions and things like this to take us away from the point of what we're really on about now. But also nature's always around you too, and just trying to distract you and pull at you from all kinds of angles and tell you, I'm here, you're here, come on man. You know, you're watching that fake stuff they're trying to advertise you. They only sell to you what you buy. They sell to you what you buy. You're empowering, you are constantly empowering whatever it is which is a higher power, higher than you, with just your belief alone. You are contributing. It's like you may be a poor person, but you might contribute a little bit of money, but that's still going towards the cause. You know what I'm saying? Towards the thing. So don't, you know, it's like you give to people that have more, but do you give to people that have less? Can you have the same amount of power on people? I believe you can have the same amount of power on a human being as any human being in this world. You can inspire people, you can help others. So the problem is now, in this video, we're talking about the body, right? I'm talking about the body. Wait 1 moment. We're saying, yeah, for the broad picture, I'm talking about humanity and life, everything, the world, universe, reality, all that, yeah? So what I'm trying to say is, we need to connect with people more. You need to work with people on their level. You need to, I say, push, I say, when that balls are going to roll down a hill, you push in that direction. If someone wants to do something, don't start talking about something else, because it'll be hard for them to listen to you. That you have to work with people on their level. You know what I'm trying to say, yeah? And that will help people. But it doesn't mean that you get some crazy guy who wants to commit suicide, right? Or he's overstressed. You say, what? Stress and pressure. Someone who's give up on his life. Someone who's making decisions that you, or maybe decisions, any kind of decision that you feel is wrong. Well, let's say something that truly is destructive, you know, it could be suicide, it could be murder, and there's some guy, I'm not telling you to like, just go along with that and say, okay, yeah, well done. It's not good at all. What I'm trying to say though is, you have to speak with them on a level, so they can understand, because naturally we will all come to, if we continue on this path, the same way as your cells are reproducing, your heart's beating, we will actually, your lungs are breathing in fresh air every moment, you put it to your brain, it should be, you know what I mean? So it's like, you know what I'm trying to say, it's like we should come to a conclusion, or we will still carry on this development rather than destructive process. So, I mean, in a positive way, I'm saying, positive, with nature. Someone's talking about committing suicide, or doing something terrible, taking drugs or something, and then you end up talking to, someone talks to that guy, some counsellor or psychiatrist or someone, and that person starts talking to a police officer or someone, a human being basically underneath it all, forget the uniform, the title we give them, but it's like, that person's talking to that person on his level, something he likes. Maybe they start talking about ham sandwiches and all that, you know, whatever it could be, excuse my language, sorry, you know, whatever, and then suddenly the guy just smiles and cracks a laugh. At that moment, you know, or he smells of bacon or something nice, or he thinks about someone who loves him, and a tear comes to his eye, his mother maybe. You know what I'm trying to say? These connections are there. We can make the right connections. When you make a wrong connection, it's like making a disconnection with nature. You pick up rubbish and your hand, again the body again, you know, is not free now because you're holding rubbish. You can't pick up the good stuff, okay? So you have to use what you have, and you can do so much. Pick up a pen and paper, you can do so much, right? You can probably change this whole, go on the computer, type up a Harry Potter, the next biggest hit, you know what I mean? You can do a lot of good. Inspire young children to be better in their lives, which will help next generations. Inspire parents. Share your life story, pick up a camera, talk to people. So this is connections. So we're talking with the body then, with the body, okay? Right, we've got the internal and the external. Basically, we've got the liver, the heart, the lungs, all the internal organs, right? So we have to focus, and it's like, you have to take care of each part, right? And you have to make everything work. Well, each one helps the other. You can't like not have one. You have to take care of the whole picture. So like if you're a teacher, you need to take care of your students, regardless of their different levels, their different mindset. All people are different, right? People around you, your family members, it could be your workers. You might be a boss or a manager. The people who are working for you, the people above you, below you, everything. It's all, you know, we're all helping each other. The boss cannot have his company without his workers. The worker can't do it without him. You know, the same thing. What I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is, there must be communication. If your brain didn't connect with your arm when you think to move your arm, it wouldn't work. It has to connect, it has to work. But at the same time, you know, if the arm didn't listen to the brain, it's the same thing. You would never have any food in your mouth when you eat it. So it all connects to each other. It's even hard for me trying to think of what I'm saying. That's why I'm just murmuring here while I'm speaking. And it's hard to like express really in the physical. You've got to understand it first of all. Some beautiful butterflies flying around today, I must say. Yeah, and some beautiful girls up there walking around, but I'm not going to film it right now. Yeah, what I'm trying to say though is, right, keep it real on that, what I'm trying to say though really, is for the body then, using the body as just an example I'm saying though, is we've got the external and the internal, as I said at the beginning of this video, right? Being, by that I mean you've got the skeleton and the skin and the flesh, inside you've got the organs on the internal. The skeleton, let's say when you breathe air into your lungs, okay, when you breathe air into your lungs, okay, what happens? Your lungs expand, right? And what happens when your lungs expand with air? Inflated, right? Your chest expands. Your bones, the rib cage, all the bones that protect your internal organs, yeah, expand. Then when you breathe out, when you exhale, your lungs contract, okay? Exhale, you know, and deflate, and then the chest contracts, okay? Now, can you imagine if you had to think each time? That was like making your life complicated. You had to think about this choice, how to affect that, and it's all got to work in flow in unison, but that takes practice. And how long have you been living on this earth? Your whole body been moving. So you don't think in your mind, okay, when I breathe in, my lungs are expanding. Oh, I need to also expand my chest, the bone. Do you know? It happens immediately. It's like one thing. It's all connected. So like they give way so that the lungs can inflate inside. Then they shrink down, and then that naturally follows. So you've got to connect. So you've got to be the same with people. It's like oxygen. You know, it's like people in life. The love. What people can accept. What you say, what they can hear. If you can be, you are like the classroom. The students are inside. You know what I'm trying to say? And you can't keep a hold on, or the boss, you can't keep a hold on people and hold them down as such, you know, when they're trying to, because they will be uncomfortable and there'll be how can you expect them to live in those situations? Like people who don't take care of animals or things like this, you know, and keep them cooped up in terrible conditions, or treat people like slaves, you know what I'm trying to say? So how can you, like prisoners in prison who carry on like maniacs and even more dangerous in prison than they are on the outside sometimes? Because it's those conditions. So there's got to be lenience, there's got to be when someone's speaking, you've got to listen to them to a certain degree, and then come back, and then, you know, and then as they're listening to you, as they have to, no one can speak forever or, you know, listen forever, right? It's like everyone's got their own mind. Even if you're not speaking, you're the one who listens all the time, but you're always speaking in your mind. You always hear the thoughts and the voice, right? So you are. So you've got to let people be. If you want development between people, and connections in this world. It's got to be connection, it's got to be communication, and the listening, and it's like Tai Chi again, the pushing and the pulling like in Tai Chi, you know, when you're pushing and pulling like in Tai Chi, and you feel the moves, when the guy pushes, you pull, let him go through, when he pulls, you push. So if you want to help have more of an impact, that wave, you see what I'm trying to say, you've got to wait and go with that flow and push it in the direction. Don't try to push people in your direction, bring them to you or push them away, you know, because some people that may love you and always be forgiving towards you, you keep pushing them away, it will never work, because it's really hard to, but then they might do that, one day they might do that, it's like the same thing, you know, that's what I'm trying to say. So the connection is what's important though, is what I'm trying to say, you see. You have to be lenient and be like Nate in the flow of nature to make things work for you. The problem is we're dealing with many systems and networks in society, okay, in the modern society, that are just, first of all, they're all corrupt. People's minds are changing constantly anyway, as due to their nature, and they're just brains scrambled the whole time. But it's like they're making the wrong decisions. People are not doing their jobs properly. Nobody's 100%. They're 50-50 in different areas. Just recently, a friend of mine went to a rave, is it? Now, I don't go to raves, bars, pubs or anything myself, clubs, but some people do. But the guy mentioned, right, I won't say the name, maybe you know who you are, bro, but someone went to this thing and it complained that there was no check at the door, like a security check, but it was okay. So you know, usually in important places where lots of people get together, there are usually like security checks to see if anyone carries a gun or a knife or something terrible, drugs. So yeah, so you can see, for example, there people are not checking and doing their job right. I believe most of the world, most people are not doing their job 100%, right? Anyone, you can find people in the law, people work in police and that. So knowing that, what else is there to be said? No one's perfect. So what I'm trying to say is you've got to try and do the best you can. You can't be perfect too, even if you try. But you see what I'm trying to say though? It's like, so what do we connect to then? You may be connecting to bullshit, or when someone says this and you try to be lenient, maybe that guy's speaking a load of fake stuff he doesn't even understand, even though he thinks he does, or he's trying to confuse you, or he's just deliberately playing games with you, or with himself. So it's like you can't, but it's like you've got to be accepting and forgiving of all of that, and say, well, okay, whatever he's saying, I'm not going to understand totally anyway, just like Jock Fresco said, but I'll be forgiving and understanding that this person's speaking to me because usually he wants something. I mean, in terms of even just for the communication, and you don't give up all your money, give up all your time, but you do understand totally that this is another human being and you respect that. Respect goes a long way sometimes. Honour, not the kind of respect that you beg people for, or that you try to force you to respect them, or I don't mean that, but it's like natural respect, natural understanding. With natural understanding, you connect to nature immediately. You say, well, how can I understand? I've got to learn. No, you don't need to learn. First, you understand that we are all the same, we're all human beings and we all want to live, okay? So basic nature, everybody needs food and drink. Some people in the world are starving, there's no water or anything, but you've got to look around you in the fake world. When you do have more, there's more money, then look around you, what are people talking about every day? What do they really mean? They're hard done by, or you owe someone, or you're saying sorry or please or thank you. Where is it coming from? Or so-and-so's angry again, or so-and-so's smiling and so-and-so's being rude. You look at the whole picture and you say, look, is this really relevant? Is this necessary? You have to look at what's necessary. So it's necessary for the chest to expand, you know, when your lungs inflate. I know I'm speaking a lot here, you didn't have to watch this video, I'm just sharing from my heart, okay, to you guys. It might be boring, but I'm listening to myself and learning a lot. I'm learning what not to say next time and what to say more on, or what less to say, you know what I mean? You listen when you learn, and you learn when you listen to other people, or you learn when you listen to yourself. So be lenient, go with the flow of nature, but don't follow. If you start following, or totally following, then they will lead you. People will lead you around in life, or false ideas and fake illusions will lead you, and you just lead yourself away. It's like you've lost your mind, basically. And there's people doing this all around the world to a large degree, I believe. So you could say, and you really could say this, that most people in the world have some form of mental illness, we could say, because that's what they class it as in today's modern society. Oh, it's a mental condition. And that's what they open up institutions for this or that, and they start creating names for different conditions and different pills and medicine. They sell whatever you buy, don't forget. So this is the fucking problem. So actually there's nothing wrong with you, all human beings. You know what I'm trying to say? Underneath it, or if you study how people have developed it, even in language, even through TV and comedies and things like that, what's accepted and what's not, you know, and you've got all kinds of things, you know, discrimination and what's this or that offensive and what people find this or that okay for today's society. It's actually, a lot of the stuff's BS, because we're all human beings underneath it all. You can go back to watch the 1980s, 70s, the 1950s, old 40s, or black and white TV shows and movies, and you see people communicating differently. I'm not talking about the accent or the way they speak in the language, but the actual way they speak, the actual way they think, and the down-to-earth purity of the language more so. So we came from the baboon, barbarian, cavemen days. Through that we became very civilized, and now we're going back into like zombie state. You know, and we've got all this technology around us, which is great, but we're not using our brains and hearts, and we're not really connecting to anything real. We've created a sci-fi as such. We've created this technology, this fake world. We're creating a fake world, like a hologram, basically. That's what it basically is. Space sci-fi type world where it's overpowering us. It's not like robots. It's not like robots are taking over the world as such right yet, as such. And it's like, but the technology is. Even if robots were to take over this world, it's not us that did it. It's human beings. It's like that Matrix, the Matrix, and also like the Matrix, the trailer for the Animatrix, when it says, oh yeah, humans was that they brought about the destruction, their own demise. We did it to ourselves. That mobile phones rule in your hand. Mobile phones rule classrooms. You get students looking at mobile phones rather than looking at something else. People looking at phones rather than communicating with each other. Talking on Facebook, or look at the level of human communication. Little tots, little children, they can't speak really detailed communication like we do. Adults, right? They can't have a very deep conversation. But then you've got adults also now on Twitter or wherever, typing up simple little bullshit things or uploading a photo here or there onto Facebook, not speaking so much shit like I'm speaking now, or meaning more detailed stuff, I'll say, but they're on there and they just put up a little photo and selfie stick and all this fucking crap, you know. And that's so simple, isn't it? Thumbs up, like, good night. Thumbs up, thumbs down, bye bye. Yeah, I'm going to work. Yeah, you're going in the grave, motherfucker. It's in my language, you know what I'm saying, for real, right? That's why I speak the way I want to speak, as I say, but you know, I'm being real. So when Jacques Fresco, who's a legend, he's 98 years old, but this guy was around with Einstein at the time. This guy was a wise guy. He's always been a wise man. He says, you know, nobody understands anyone really, and it's a little bullshit. So that's the main point I'm going to get at here. If nobody, and I'll go more into this topic in other videos, if nobody understands it, can we agree on that? Can we agree? Nobody understands anyone. You say, well, no, that's not totally true, because I understand people. Sometimes you feel the connection with your heart, and you love the guy, you love the girl. No, what the fuck? Get your faggot ass off your tuffet. I'm just Miss Muppet. What I'm basically trying to say, right? I'm not speaking shit now. You're probably sitting there swearing at me. But what I'm trying to say to you, okay, really, is behind all of your lingo, you motherfucking bit, you know what I'm saying, bro, that motherfucking lingo, yeah, I'm saying, get your gringo, I'm gonna pop you in the motherfucking ass of a motherfucking salami, bitch. I ain't even talking about that, you know what I'm saying? I can speak in any motherfucking accent, any kind of language I want. I can swear, or I can just come up to you and go, like an animal, and start speaking baboon now, like the cavemen used to do. But at the end of the day, I'm a human being here. So what the fuck am I saying? What I'm trying to say is, can we agree, right, that nobody understands anyone, nobody understands the world more than themselves. Like, you understand yourself, right, more than anything else, right, and more than anyone else can understand you too. It's more close to your own thoughts, what you're thinking now. If I tell you I believe what you've just said is true, if I tell you I understand what you've said, how much trust do you have that I totally can understand you? I've not walked in your fucking shoes, and I'm not you. Even if I was to follow you for a day and spend a day with you, I would not know it, or watch a documentary online. It's not the same as actually living that life. Living in a prison, looking at walls, or living in a heart, you know what I mean, being a prisoner, or things like that, you know what I mean, though, in any kind of sense, you know what I'm trying to say? The mind state controls your whole life. Your mind, the way you see your life is what makes it real, or whatever it's going to be in a situation. But what I'm saying, you know what I'm trying to say? It's what you see. You know, just how you see it. But it's like, the situation is what it is for you. I will never understand the way you're thinking, because you don't even understand yourself. Because that is even from years and years and years of development as a baby in different situations, that you've lost contact, when you've lost control. You can't even remember where you learned this part and how this emotion connects to this, and some psychiatrist you might pay money for, or take the pills they give you, and you're selling today, and so on the news. Oh, Justin Bieber, Oprah's having an affair, fucking the government this or that, and so has been sleeping with 2 women. So fucking what? Well, Hillary Clinton's emails. So fucking what? You know what I mean? See, Lady Gaga this or that. You know what I'm trying to say? The Kardashians, she's gone buck naked. Miley Cyrus is taking it on over a car bonnet while baking eggs on her ass. You know what I'm saying? While she's sucking something. I'm just saying, keeping it real. Right? Keeping it real. You know what I'm trying to say though? What on earth is that? Or groups of people rallying with flags and marching for something. We want this, we want that. And then you've got monks and stuff who are committing suicide because they feel they've been fairly untreated when they're supposed to be so selfless and so respectful of their life. They value their life, and then nothing can chain you down. It's supposed to be that kind of belief, right? So we're all human beings at the end of the day. So what I'm trying to say is, can we agree, right, for the basic part, we're not batteries like the Matrix. You motherfuckers, don't speak shit. What we're basically saying, right, is, can we agree? Can we really agree then? No. Can we agree that we all think our own way? And my way of thinking is different to yours, so that means nobody is speaking the same language, and if you speak 2 different languages you can't communicate, right? So nobody is actually totally understanding somebody else. And if there's a small little problem, let's say in the law, let's say you go to the law, you go to a court of law, and judges and that, and if there's a small detail, what happens if you don't understand the whole thing totally, if there's something there? Well, in that such a situation, as part of this complex network we call the government and society, this area here, the court and of law, can end you fucked up, and you may end up paying big fines, paying your whole life away behind bars, or maybe 80 years, whatever you're trying to say, not seeing family and loved ones. And then there's people committing suicide, and they're, oh, my dad's been banged up, he's in prison, that's why I joined the gang, and all this, and starts taking fucking heroin or whatever the fuck they're doing. Complaining they haven't got the best sneakers and shoes and that, and that's why they go around shooting people, and the people vote for guns to be okay. And you know what I'm trying to say? And then you've got other people in the world who've got no water, let alone a fucking shoe to piss in for a toilet, and they're probably chewing on a piece of rubber if they find it because they're so fucking hungry. And they get people complaining, and then they look up in the sky and they say, oh, it's going to rain again. Might mean something different to you, but we all see the same thing. We've all got common sense, and we've all got our own sense. What's common, what's real, it's the truth. So what I'm trying to say is, if we all can agree, the same way Jock Fresco said, right, from the Venus Project, the legendary man, no one speaks the same language, so nobody understands anyone, okay, really, totally, right, fairly, to the fullest, right, you might say, well, you can understand to a degree. Yeah, but you're the same kind of person who votes and agrees that we should have prisons and stuff and courts of law, where if there's one mistake, someone can go to prison. You might say, well, it's different if there's a life or death situation, or where there's money involved. Then that's your mind problem again, that's what I say. You get science, morality, so many things, emotion, learning if you've grown up. So what I'm trying to say, the final point is, if nobody understands anyone totally, right, and that means they don't really, and we're all just trying to be patient and agree with each other and let each other off, we should be being positive and peaceful towards each other. That's what we should be doing, and accepting and understanding of each other. That's the truth, right? But what I'm trying to say is, if nobody understands each other, then there's nothing more to be said. All this connected in society is like the collapse of society if we don't show love and support. A slow one maybe, so we should be loving, supporting, respectful, humble, and understand other human beings, and don't be so greedy and selfish, because you know what I mean. It's like if the lungs in your body were like selfish, and they said, we're going to keep this oxygen and we're not going to send it up to the brain, and I had no choice, I was oblivious to it at the time, lost in a desert. No, you know what I mean? Then the brain would have no oxygen, and you starve the master. You don't respect your teachers, you don't respect your whoever, you know what I mean? Things like that. Then you don't learn anything. You don't respect anyone around you. You don't learn anything. You don't gain anything. You don't respect your parents. You don't respect your kids. You don't respect your students. We all are the ones that eat out of each other. We all help each other without doing it. Sometimes you steal that fake stuff. Someone's going to help you. Let me help you. That guy's afraid of you because you don't fucking respect him, and you've treated him like a little bitch. That's why he's afraid, and he feels he owes you. And you feel this guy's been helping me for so many years. Why is it suddenly he's stopped? Who the fuck are you? You know what I mean? We're all the same. You know what I mean? Why don't you go and help people for a change? You know what I mean? I speak to people on a daily basis. I show a smile to people. I give it a bit extra in communication with human beings, trying to help. I'm not this or that what you might want me to be, the biggest, toughest guy or the most, or speak the same way as you, but I try and do good. You know what I mean? Yeah? I'm not angry, I'm just sharing my thoughts. You know what I'm trying to say? You get connected with other emotions in your brain. What I'm trying to say is, right, I'm just speaking real and the voice of truth, right, as I see it, and that's not totally perfect either. You may see this on a totally different take, but that's okay. No one can force words in your mouth. If someone tells you it's right or wrong, you will either agree or not, correct? By your own way of thinking. And in time you may grow to accept it. Why? Because you try to like connect things with parts of your thoughts that can match up. We can all basically relate to anyone if we be smart enough about it. We can all also justify or injustify anything, our words, and try and make up excuses, but the truth's always there underneath it all. Now how much do you know beneath the truth that actually give birth to the truth that you're seeing? How true is that truth that you're seeing? So the whole body, okay, is connected in pure harmony in nature. Nature's, don't lie, it's what it is. But people acting so fake, you know what I mean? So if you want to make the world better, you've got to make more communication with others. You're a confident person. People seem to follow you. You say, I'm a good leader, I have experience. I'm good at leading people. You know, I'm good at swaying people. You know what? Maybe those people need a bit more confidence to stand up to you and say they disagree and this or that. And maybe you can learn something. You can be a better leader yourself that way and get more love and respect and make a bigger company, organisation or whatever. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah? And maybe you won't lose your kids one day or lose your parents. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah? Or lose your lover. You know what I'm trying to say? And then lose the chance of having kids and then have nurturation and beliefs in general, and then there won't be all these fake beliefs and stupid, crappy, useless bollocks, you know, going around and ideologies and ideas that mess up life. Only the productive, good stuff will be there. Productiveness, not destructiveness. So that's what I say. To communicate with other people. The same for the students or the low-level workers. They've got to respect the one who's helping. If someone's doing good for you, if someone's not doing you any harm too, you know what I mean? My arm's not doing my body any harm. Why the fuck should I cut it off? I've got money in my pocket. I'm not going to spend it, so it's got no use, it's nothing, right? Or pen or paper, whatever it is. But you don't chuck it away. You know what I'm saying? You weigh up what is. You can't carry everything with you. You can't carry the pressures of the world. You can't sit with someone all your whole life. You could do. You could be like a monk and stare at a wall your whole life. Or talk to someone and spend your whole day talking with someone. But you won't have time to do other things. You have to understand that. And accept and don't blame others. You know? Be wise. Be wise, you know? Understand your choices. Understand your choices, and better yet, if you can try to get to the root of the truth and understand where your choices are actually coming from. Study your thoughts before you make choices. Study the road to lead to all choices before you make a choice. And you'll make a choice more better, at least better. Not perfect, but based on your better understanding. And always ask other things, to ask questions to yourself and other people about anything you encounter along the way. The world's full of beautiful surprises, and just like Jason Stork said, the beauty's all around, even in the darkest hour. You know? So, how tall is a tree, you know? How wide is it? How long has it been? It doesn't fucking matter. At the end of the day, don't ask stupid questions. How strong are you in your body? You know? How many languages can you speak? What did you learn yesterday? What can you tell me about 5 people? Tell me about them. 2 people in your life. What can you tell me about them? What are their qualities? Do you see anything good in them? You know? What kind of, you know? Or what good have you gained from studying from someone's negative aspects of from how you've seen that? You know what I'm trying to say? That's it. We learn from each other, from productive positiveness. Read a book every now and then, or watch a documentary, or do something, get some knowledge. And physically do some exercise in your body and mind. This is Kung Fu knowledge, but it's only my philosophy, Wushu Richard's life philosophy. As I say, thank you so much for watching. Thank you always. More videos to come. My reality and your reality is yours. Keep it real. We're all part of nature and humanity.